Lifted right here on Best 100 FM, 100.1 to 100.9 FM. Tune in and be informed, motivated, entertained, and spiritually lifted. Your weekdays will never be the same again. Mondays to Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Inside Lifted on Best 100 FM, 100.1 to 100.9 FM. With yours truly, Darren Chosen Smith. Tune in and be lifted.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection. We are coming to you live from the Best 100 FM studios in Kingston, Jamaica. Welcome to our listeners who are online with us and those who are on air. We're getting some UK shout out and Valentine love from Delroy Henry.
Already?
So a very special good morning to you, Mr. Henry. And to the crew in the house, Lloydie with a new look, and the producer, and of course, beloved co-host, Pastor Percival. How are you this wonderful morning?
I'm wonderful.
Oh, well, okay.
I'm wonderful. It's the day of love, they say, but what a day it is. My. Yeah.
It sounds like you're not seeing much love.
No, man. I experienced it already in the morning. God is good, but interestingly, as we reflect on love today, yesterday I had an interesting conversation with somebody who said, "Me not celebrate Valentine's Day." I said, "Why not?" He says, "The truth is that the origins of it, I don't like it." So I says, "Okay." And somebody told me this morning, I celebrate Valentine's Day every day. I said, "Nah, I agree with you, my wifey."
Oh, because I'm wondering how much people you talk to since morning. So, yes, well done.
Yeah, so she reminds me that it is every day.
Love every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Because every day we walk in the love that God has had for us, the love that God has for his people, the love that he has for the world. And I guess everybody knows this one. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. You know, we always quote that one, but no, to the follow-up one, which says, "For God sent his Son not into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him may be saved." And that is the love and that God has for us today. So I really do look forward to it. As I've said, it's love every day. Because if we practice love every day, love God with all of our hearts, all of everything that we have on our neighbors, ourselves, it's such a more wonderful place to live in and to experience God's love. So because he loved me first, I love you back. And I love everybody that I interact and meet with. It's such a blessing to be alive. It's such a blessing to be in the world. It's such a blessing to see all the exciting things happening round about us. And it's so exciting to see that indeed his kingdom is coming and his will is being done in the world, and that in truth, through us, it's been established, that kingdom of righteousness and justice, truth and mercy. So I'm in love today. I hope that you are in love too.
Always.
Yes.
Always.
I love it.
Always. You know, I listen to you, and you are doing the best thing of focusing on, even if not only the positives, but certainly on the things that signal change and the fulfillment of the will of God for
Yes.
His people. We've been watching the death toll rise
Wow.
in Syria.
I've seen that
Yeah,
miracles daily.
you shared that video.
Yes.
Yeah, Lowell gave me a peek at it, just to see the buildings coming down, and it kind of looked unnatural to me.
Yes.
Because it doesn't seem as if the person making the video was affected by what was happening. It's as if there was no earthquake where that person was standing. Typically, in earthquake videos, the person who's making the video, you see the wobbling of even their own camera. But that looked like somebody was standing on safe ground.
It looked that way.
And yeah, that's
And
how
that's
it looked.
video in yeah.
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 And the buildings in particular were targeted. Are they sure it's an earthquake?
You know, that question comes,
It must,
with hard
because-
technology.
Yeah, because it does look as if those buildings were just being taken down one by one.
Yeah, I found it, yeah. But wow.
Yeah. Anyway, such is life.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. By whatever means,
Mhm.
the
And-
will of
and on
God
the
is
front
being
page.
accomplished.
A couple is celebrating almost
70 years.
wow.
Mm. That's a lot of forgiveness, and
It is.
has to be.
It is, you know.
You want to focus on that. You wanted to share something from it.
I
Happy Valentine's from, what are the names of that beautiful couple
oh my
who were
God.
married when they were children?
It looks that way.
That too.
Lord and Pauline Brand, married for almost 70 years, offer nuggets of wisdom to young couples on how to maintain a long and fulfilling relationship. So he is 95
Mm-hmm.
and she is 85. See, we're saying that what she was really very, very young. If this is for real, yeah.
Wow.
I call her my queen. I call her my world. And now I'm going to call her my everything. Woo. Wow. What a thing.
So she's 85?
That's what it says.
She married at 15?
Yeah. Yeah, she had to get, you can't get married at that age if your parents give you permission.
Yeah, no, you would know. Have you had to do any of those?
No. No. Yeah.
85.
Yes.
Disturbing.
7 decades.
He was 25.
And she was 25. That's what it says. No?
I hope they got the age wrong.
Well, she was 17. Yeah. She was 17.
Yeah.
So it's not
Oh, they
70
say
years.
it's not
it's,
70.
almost 70 years, but they.
Oh, they say almost 70.
She's 18.
Yeah, because I started to worry and say, I don't want to know what the secret is for a 25-year-old man and a 15-year-old girl. Oh, no, Lord have mercy.
So their 4 tips are work together as one. Okay, that's the unity commands a blessing. Avoid conflict if you want your marriage to last. Don't physically abuse your spouse. End conflicts before they escalate. Be compassionate and patient. Learn to resist some things. The word says, resist the devil and he'll flee from you. But it also says, flee the very appearance of evil. And one of the things that comes to mind for me, even with couples and relationships, you need to understand, even as we celebrate, what are the triggers for yourself, what it is that causes you to, as they say, to see red
On Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day, and just see it and move away from it, de-escalate. Somebody says defuse, deflect, diffuse, de-escalate. The 3 Ds they told me. Diffuse,
Deflect.
de-escalate. So if you practice the 3 Ds, it's so important, because some of the times you're doing it and you're saying, all right, to the person. You're doing a couple,
You're diffusing.
Yes, breathe.
Diffusing and de-escalating.
Breathe.
Yeah.
The 3 Ds that helps you in terms of the relationship, and the truth is, you never will see eye to eye on everything. But the important thing for couples, I remind them, just try to get an understanding. Listen to what the person is saying to you. Because you're in a dialogue with somebody, an argument, and you're so quick to make your point, but you're not even hearing what the person trying to say. And some of the times, if you stop to listen, you say, "But I same thing I say, no." But you're saying it in a different way.
You're not far apart.
Yeah. So that becomes very, very important. Today's budget day. We'll be getting a lot from the government. We'll be getting a lot from the government today. It's kind of historic that with what the things we spoke about yesterday, remember, with Mr. Twait's speech.
Yeah.
If we're really going to get any love, but I don't really expect any.
I don't expect any, because we are too much creatures of habit.
Yes.
And tradition. And even there's just such great reluctance to revisit our own behaviors and make an acknowledgement that perhaps I could do it better, or I could be more understanding, or I could be, as you say, deflect and diffuse. I could just look at the central point and flow with that, instead of trying to be right or to be egocentric in the way we look at things. So I don't expect that we're going to get much love from the budget makers. One of the things that there are not many things I admire about Donald Trump, but the one thing that I saw clearly was his capacity to just break from tradition and try something new.
So, like you in one way, you always...
I live at the edge, so there's no tradition.
You just live at the edge.
Except that at any moment you might step in one direction or another. But the ability to just go back to basics and build from the ground up. We were talking about, weeks ago, we talked about foundation and the foundation of sand, and the need to revisit the foundation of things from time to time, build from the ground up. If they could just go back and say, this is our first budget ever. We're just looking now at what needs to be done and how to get it done, and don't treat things that are, it's so funny that when a new administration takes over, they have that ability to pick up from where they left off.
True.
And just reconfigure everything that the other administration did. So if you have that mindset from a very selfish perspective, then you could adopt the same mindset from a more loving perspective and say, you know what, let's see if we could just select a fresh start and do what would really be in the best interest of persons. What caught my straight up is telling me that the age of consent was 14 until the early 90s.
Oh, interesting.
Because of the unavailability of schooling after grade 6 or 9 long ago, people were forced into adulthood much earlier. I certainly know that from the dark ages. But then age of consent was really something for women. It's never been about men. A man could assert his manhood from his 13 and strike out and be doing things. But age of consent. Thank you straight up for that insight into the history of social engineering. But what caught my eyes this morning, because it was provoking some reflection from yesterday. Do you remember the caller from Santa Cruz raising an issue which led me to comment on
smoke nuisance?
No. He asked about the policemen.
Oh,
what happened to the other 3 policemen who were arrested concerning the rape of this woman? And we started to talk about the administration of justice, how things appear, and really, do we trust what goes on behind the scenes with regards to how evidence is gathered, analyzed, how charges are laid and so on and so forth. He was speculating that perhaps there was some corrupt behavior in these other three officers being arrested but not charged.
Right.
And I made a connection between that case and the case of Mr. Mundell, who got the light sentence, having been charged under the wrong section of the act. This morning, the DPP, it's on the front page that an attorney who I feel like it's the first I've ever seen this name, but it's always interesting that you can find someone. There is always a lawyer who will criticize the DPP.
Okay.
I mean, I can't recall ever reading the name Paul Gentles, but he's on the front page criticizing the DPP's move or statement that she wants to appeal this sentence on the basis that there was an error in how the person was. Well, you heard it. There was an error, and citing it no doubt as a gross miscarriage of justice. Now, I want to talk about it a little bit because I want persons to have a better understanding of how these issues work.
Okay.
The DPP has cited that it is an abuse of process for who abused it. Her office.
Okay.
It is her office that abused the process. It's not the judge, although I've said that a judge should not just accept a guilty plea from a person who is charged with a serious offense. The judge, too, has a duty to see that the plea is in keeping with the law. So the judge didn't catch or did not inquire into the evidence which led to the man being charged as though he was found in possession of a licensed firearm, though his possession of it was unlawful. In my view and experience, this is something that judges should look into because mistakes can be made. And there's a reason why you don't judge, why the judge is in the process. So there's that. Defense lawyer Paul Gentles has called it an absurdity, this effort by the DPP to appeal what she describes as an error made by her office in that the offender was indicted under the wrong section of the law. So we know that that's what is said. There's nothing to say that there was an absence of evidence to support the charge. She says it's prosecutorial error. There are provisions in the law for a court's judgment to be set aside, or the orders of a court to be set aside, because there's an error called they call it the slip rule, where it's a patent error on the face of the documents. You can tell that there's an error. I don't believe that this qualifies. And when I think about it, although I said yesterday that she's likely to appeal with the newfound, you see how useful it's becoming? This power of the government, the prosecution to appeal judgments was recently passed into law, and already it is. She said
one time already.
Yes, but she said that that's a power that it's there and it grows dusty. People hardly use it, but she's certainly working it.
But that she mess up.
So now we come to the rights of an accused person, now a convicted person. The Constitution guarantees certain rights. If you are arrested or charged, you must know within a certain, with promptitude, why and what the charge is. When you are told that this is the charge, namely you're charged under section 5 instead of 45, or 45 instead of 5, and you take a decision to plead guilty because of the charge that's been laid against you.
You're not that error.
You are not. And let me tell you, I am waiting to see what the Court of Appeal would do with a case where a citizen charged by the government who is in possession of the knowledge and the details, the evidence. You are charged under a section. You plea at the earliest opportunity. The judge accepts your plea as valid. What error could cause a citizen to be put? What would they do? They can't enter a nolle prosequi after you have been convicted and sentenced.
What is a nolle prosequi?
The word null
No,
is to nullify.
Okay.
And the prosequi is prosecution.
So
they nullify the
the prosecution.
prosecution
Okay.
as if it never happened.
So
And
we're
the
gonna
man-
do that now.
You can do that in the course of a trial before the case is handed over to the jury or the judge.
But
You
no,
can't do it after
after.
the judge has spoken.
So-
So they can't do that. That's why she's appealing. She would have to appeal because it's now a concluded case, very well in the favor of the accused, well, the convicted person. The problem, you see, if he had been tried and the judge erred and the prosecution erred, and then
Did not do nothing wrong.
yeah, but he has not. He has taken advantage.
He has, but because the thing, so he admit to wrong.
Yes, he knew he was in
Probably
possession of a
right.
gun. And here's the thing now. It's not that he was in error about the evidence.
Correct.
The only person who could know that the gun was licensed is the government. And the government have the gun, have the law, and charge him on the basis that, this is not an illegal weapon. It's only the man's possession of it that's illegal.
So that's what happened. Because
Yes. So if I were acting for him and she appealed, my first thing would be, okay, then I took advantage of your charging me in a way that indicate to me that the gun was okay, just me having it was not. And I pleaded guilty to having it without the requisite authorization.
mercy,
It's not gonna work.
mercy, mercy.
Yeah, it let me tell you, it is that there's a value to the constitutional right that you have to hear the case that is against you at the earliest opportunity
And he did.
and to take your decision. And he did.
And him doing.
And he pleaded guilty. The man deserved the light sentence. And you see, that's the absurdity now, of making these laws and pronouncements. And I hate to see, even yesterday, the DPP was saying that there was complaining that there wasn't enough public education. She's not public. The one person who must be presumed to know the law is the prosecutor. She was chastising the government for not consulting them early enough. Consultation wouldn't have fixed that. That's an on-the-spot error.
Reggie.
She should fire whoever did it.
No, you know what is so very fascinating about it? I'm reflecting on Romans. Because the fear of the Lord has walked out of the public sphere, everybody, top to bottom. Our Prime Minister, when he was being sworn in, he swore unto himself.
Yes.
Never says, so help me God. So God is not helping him now in this instance. And a lot of people have moved the fear of God out of the public square. We do not use that as a reference,
reference point for
anything. And so God says, okay, what did he say in Romans? So God leave them up today. The futility of their actions. And they say, okay, you take me out. That's all right. And we see it happening in a lot of countries, especially in the US of A. Them say, they don't know God. So it's all right. That's okay with me. Do your thing. And I think that is beginning to reach us now, because it seemed on the face of it like it shouldn't happen, but it does happen. And we see it happening in a lot of other things. They're just checking around and they're saying, they really do that for true?
And at this point, it looked like ego.
Yeah.
That's not about trying to get justice
No, man.
in any shape or form. This is, okay, we've been caught. It is such...
It's about ego.
Yeah,
And
it's like ego.
when you put yourself at the center of what is happening, which is idolatry, because that's what ego is. You're worshiping the creature, not the creator, you're going to get in problems. So I'm just making that simple commentary on a lot of things I'm seeing happening in our nation. They say, but how could that happen? You understand what I say?
Yes.
How could that happen? Why?
Perfectly.
He said, no, man, it just
Baffles the
baffles
mind.
your mind. They
Well,
go,
at this point, I'm saying that young Mr. Mundell has a praying mother or grandmother because that's a gift.
yes.
That's a gift. And I don't think it's a gift that can be returned because he took a step by pleading guilty. Possibly if he had been tried and convicted on the evidence, but then, you know, they realized that there was prosecutorial error or some whatever thing, but now they have a right of appeal. They could use it. But he pleaded guilty. Having heard the charge, he pleaded guilty. I don't think you can take it back. And this morning, it's what, as I read it, I said, but the man had a right to hear at the earliest opportunity what charges against him. Having heard it, he followed a course of action. Perhaps if he had heard that he was being charged under the one that would give him a minimum of 15 years, he would not have pleaded guilty. And possibly if he hadn't pleaded guilty and had been put to trial, he would have been acquitted altogether.
Yeah. Oh.
That would be my position on it if I had to advise him.
The web that we weave.
But Mr. Gentles, who's criticizing the DPP, is not making any of those points, you know. He's just saying, he says it's absurd. He questioned the rationale. He has not really given anything to guide us as citizens. I don't even know if he was the attorney who represented Mr. Mundell. Maybe he was.
Somebody just ask, what do you think about this? What do you think about this?
The DPP says it is in the best interest of justice. I think it is in the best interest of justice that citizens, when they take a course of action and the state accepts it, that the state is bound by that course of action. If not, she was the very one telling people, if you know you're guilty, plead guilty early so we can save time. I remember, and the man plead guilty, and now that he get a good result, she don't like it. It's time for the break. I really want us to examine that closely and understand, you know, the significance of it.
Best FM 100.5 on your dial. Keep listening.
Join with us to the South American continent as we go on a mission to our CARICOM neighbors, Guyana. Our delegation is comprised of 73 persons, including technocrats from the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, and some of the brightest minds in construction, technology, education, and telecommunications. The goal is simple: to do business in Guyana. After the plane lands and the team clears immigration, to their surprise, they are greeted by an official welcome party, a demonstration of a fruitful relationship between both countries.
The Guyanese were extremely welcoming. We were very, very blessed to have the Minister of Finance. He came with the Minister of Industry and Commerce, the Minister of Works. We had the Minister of Labor subsequently. The Minister of Foreign Affairs came with the Vice President. We couldn't have had a better welcoming group of government officials. And of course, the Guyanese from Go Invest, Dr. Peter Ramsaru, and others from the Guyanese Chamber of Commerce, they were all so very welcoming to all of us Jamaicans.
Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Senator Auburn Hill. After the greeting and pleasantries were finished, the team got down to business. The team had over 250 business-to-business meetings, and several of the business owners secured contracts to supply services, a sign that Mission Guyana is bearing fruit.
We have started negotiations with and actually in the process of reviewing some contracts with persons in the agriculture sector, persons in the engineering field, persons in the construction field. And we have actually already sealed a number of mining material supplies to the Guyanese market.
Managing Director of Kinetic Supplies, Keon Hines, a contractor and construction supplies company. The construction supplies, which are to be exported soon, will aid in the development of roads, hospitals, schools, and lower to upper income housing solutions. Mr. Hines says there is a significant demand for the products in Guyana, which he and his team plan to exploit.
They have a significant shortage, and we have actually started the process of identifying not just the supply, but we have 2 persons now that they are there saying, how soon can we get the materials in? So on that side, we have actually seen those deals. So based on this mission to Guyana, I'm seeing where Jamaica, the region, and us as local contractors, there's significant potential for growth.
Several local information and communication technology ICT companies also saw success in Guyana. Some inked contracts to lend support to Guyanese financial institutions to improve their customer experience.
So Guyana is a market that is being developed, right? Some of the industries are not yet where Jamaica is. And so I'll say it is a green field. They're looking for talents, expertise, to help them to get to that stage that they want to be. And Jamaica is in a fortunate position because we are somewhat beyond that curve already, especially in the technology space. We were able to sign an MOU the day before my departure, which I think was excellent.
Armando Cox, founder of technology company Resolve IT. Mr. Cox says the last-minute memorandum of understanding is one of many fruitful outcomes of the trip.
We are working on a partnership with an IT company that has been in Guyana. The idea is to add our services on top of their service, essentially opening a new revenue stream for them. And we're in the discussion for a second one. We are also working with the credit union movement, that's the Guyana credit union movement, to help the credit union to modernize their offering, to improve the experience of their employees and improve the experience of their members.
The Heart NSTA Trust was also a big hit in Guyana, with the MOU now in the works for the agency to start offering training in the country. With the team now back from their trip and the testimonies we've heard so far, it is clear that Mission Guyana was a resounding success. With several contracts secured and more still in the works, the expectation is that Jamaica will be doing more business in Guyana. That's it for me this week. Until we meet again, I'm Andre Palmer. Thank you for listening.
A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Business owners, what do you want our listeners to know about your business? Check out the Business Spotlight every Thursday at 11:15 a.m. inside Lifted with Darren Chosen Smith, catering to all your advertising needs. Call our sales and marketing department now at 876-276-5072 or 876-887-0800 or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road off Hadley Park Road. That's the Business Spotlight right here on Best 100 FM.
Half a tree, 100, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi start?
Chano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and then diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new with them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me send you.
You big star. Yeah, man. Respect my boss.
Try and call him, guys. Trust me.
Repairs and repairs. Good afternoon.
What a relief.
for a better choice in all your electrical supplies. A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2 1/4 Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
Believe me, it's so easy. 1, 2, 3.
Having trouble getting parts for your Mazda? Maljam Auto Parts is your solution. Find Maljam at the new and convenient location of Upper Waltham Park Road at 9 Kingswood Avenue. Maljam Auto Parts, with over 25 years experience, providing all Mazda parts, new and used. Call 923-4389 and 461-1786. Maljam Auto Parts, serving your Mazda needs.
Jamaica, we're going up and not under. No more slaves any longer. We were once weak, but now we are stronger, stronger, stronger. Join me, Darren Chosen Smith, Mondays to Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. inside Lifted, right here on Best 100 FM, 100.1 to 100.9 FM. Tune in and be informed, motivated, entertained, and spiritually lifted. Your weekdays will never be the same again. Mondays to Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. inside Lifted on Best 100 FM, 100.1 to 100.9 FM. With yours truly, Darren Chosen Smith. Tune in and be lifted.
Ready for the war here, oh yeah. Ready for the war.
And the world, you want us back? We are back. The Breakthrough Deliverance Ministry, led by me, the prophet Mark Stewart, right here on Best 100 FM. This and every Thursday night from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Yes, it's War Room Thursday. Come on out and join us, each and every one, on Best 100 FM, 100.1, 3 by 7 and 9. Come on out. Join me, the prophet, Reverend Mark Stewart, and of course, the boss shot, Apostle Marshall. Come for your healing, breakthrough, deliverance, the prayer, the miracle, the word, the testimony, and so much more. Yes, my friends, Best 100 FM, Best 100 FM, War Room Thursday, 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Join us. We are going to live.
Oh yeah. Ready for the war here. Ready for the war here.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on the Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back to all of our listeners everywhere. I got to answer a question that Straight Up has raised in the context of what we're talking about with the DPP and her own brand of wisdom. He says, wouldn't that be double jeopardy? Strictly speaking, no. Double jeopardy is when you are put through the same process twice. This man is not going to be put through the same process. He is he has already been convicted and sentenced. This is going to be a review of sentence. Now, double jeopardy would be if they had tried to nullify the prosecution and then try him again.
Okay. Would that be double
Yes, yeah, double jeopardy. But they're not going to try him again. That's done.
Want to review
But
the sentence.
it does beg the question: if the DPP appeals against, I don't know what she would be appealing against. It seems it would be she'd be appealing against sentencing. She can't appeal against conviction because he pleaded guilty.
So you can appeal against sentence.
So you can appeal against just sentencing. The man has been rightly convicted but wrongly sentenced. When you're appealing against sentence, you are making arguments now that the sentence constitute, it should be, when the accused person appeal, he's saying it should be shorter.
Okay.
When if the DPP appeal, she'd be saying it should be longer because the judge misapplied the law in certain areas, which has resulted in a miscarriage of justice. And the Court of Appeal will look at it through those lens. Now, if you are appealing on the basis of your own error, and you'd have to call the judge into question as well. So you made an error. The judge didn't catch it because the judge failed in one duty or another. The judge is hearing it. The Court of Appeal has to look at whether or not those errors are directly connected to the resultant miscarriage of justice. Because there might be an error, but the error is immaterial. The error did not bring about what transpired. In this case, I do not believe it's open to her to simply say error, because it is an error that would have to be based on evidence.
Correct.
When you have a file before you and you're choosing what charge to lay, that charge should be based on the evidence as you have it.
Correct.
If they had two options, option A, the firearm is the subject of a permit at some point. Option B, this firearm is unknown to the system and was procured illegally and possibly been used in other offenses. That has to come out of the evidence that you have. What is the serial number? You fired it and done ballistic tests or whatever it is they need to do. So it's very difficult to imagine that prosecutors are laying charges by just reading the sections and doing ini, mini, miny, mo. You must be looking at the evidence and saying this evidence fits this section. Anything else is what would be absurd.
Yeah, and I spoke to the absurdity of a lot of things we see happening in this nation. We say, how come? That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. But you made a very interesting point, with the imposition of mandatory sentences. It means that if them catch you, they catch you in the position. You don't have to plead anything, because
it won't change.
It won't change.
Yet we have a whole body of law, and both case law, and there's the plea bargaining laws. We have a whole body of law that says when a person pleads guilty, take a certain position, then automatically it results. Yes. And we had the DPP herself coming to the public and pleading with the public to say, if you come into our hands, plead early and shorten the process and the work and take the benefits of your being a good citizen. But what benefit would there be if this is how it is? And when somebody seemed to have got away with something, the government itself, the DPP, wants to appeal. As Delroy Henry say, the argument chaka chaka.
I never heard. I've not heard that in a long time.
It's chaka chaka and have no merit. But listen, we have to keep our eye on the ball with these things, because
I think it is. I was saying to you, it is a manifestation that we're seeing now of when people or a nation is so much on a part of walking in its own counsel,
Mm-hmm.
having rejected the counsel of God in terms of when he says to us righteousness and justice and how it must be worked out, and we're doing our own thing. And he said, okay then, all right. So now, the Romans 1, which I was speaking to, for the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who suppress the truth in unrighteousness, because what may be known of God is manifest in them, for God has shown it to them. Remember, he showed us our Lord in terms of when you go to court, one person can't just say it. You have to have two, those simple things. You speak about justice. For since the creation of the world, his invisible attributes are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Because although they knew God, they did not glorify him as God, nor were thankful, became futile in their thoughts, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Professing to be wise, they became fools and changed the glory of God into an image made like corruptible man and birds and four-footed animals and creeping things. You know, in reflection on it, if you remove who God is from the center of what you're doing, seeing that we have been made and in his image and likeness, and we put ourselves there, which is idolatry. He says, okay, all right, I do have no problem. Since you have made that choice, then let us see where it takes you. And we're seeing all over the world and in Jamaica, because there's no longer the fear of God in the hearts of people. We're getting what we are getting. And we see it happening in our justice system in terms of some of the things that we are putting in. Because when you put mandatory sentencing in place, you know what you have removed? The prerogative of mercy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no discretion for anyone to be merciful.
Yeah, man. And I say that in terms of just reminding us.
So, Mr. Gentles, whose name I did not recognize, is in fact the attorney who represented Mondale.
Okay.
Yes. And he is joined in his commentary on the matter by Peter Champagny, King's Counsel. Mr. Champagny adding to the argument that it cannot be said that the judge fell into any error. But the judge did fall into error. When guilty pleas are put before the court has a duty to inquire as into the fitness of it. The court never loses that duty because the court still stands too in a protective stance. The judge is a minister of justice, you know. So the judge also has to look to see that what is being put before her is consistent with the law and is with the will of the accused person. Sometimes a man plead guilty, but the police beat it out of them. Or, you know,
we know about that, you know.
Okay, just imagine, if you're a judge, a man come in battered and bruised, he has been taken up for something that he's brought before you for a crime that don't involve him looking like that. And he pleads guilty to something. Would you just accept that?
No.
Without inquiring about his condition? There you go. So judges always have a duty to inquire into the conditions on which, and they tell you, even in plea bargaining situations where a negotiation took place and a deal has been struck, the judge still has the discretion to inquire into it, to make sure that there's no corruption of the process. So it can be said that the judge fell into error because he or she did not inquire to see what was the evidence that led to the particular charge.
Okay.
Judges they never lose that duty. What would be the point of having them if they can't pick up an error or see that either the prosecution or the defense is proceeding on a faulty path?
And some of the time, and a lot of times, we have seen the judge just throw it out and say, no, I'm not going to take that evidence.
Right.
Throw it out.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it could be said that the judge blundered because she didn't make an inquiry which would have sparked the deeper look into the evidence supporting it. But the judge too could be said to have accepted on the face of it that the DPP had evidence to support their choice of this charge, the second of option A.
Yeah.
Interesting point. Let's not miss the significance that when we as citizens rely on the competence of those who are accusing us and charging us and taking certain actions against us and select a position, we should not be disadvantaged when they realize that
they have
they
made a
were
mistake.
that they were in error.
So they're asking for mercy now. But to be
well, it's not even mercy. That mercy they flow in one direction.
One direction. Only mercy for me, not for you. Aye, sister. Oh boy.
But you see, we're back to what you were saying, that when man is relying completely on his own wisdom, you will get these kinds of
and we'll continue to get it, you know.
All right. So I did want to pull that one apart because I saw in it the possibility that many will not recognize that citizens have a right, your constitutional right, to due process, to be told charges against you at the earliest opportunity so you can take decisions. When you take those decisions, anything the government does afterwards to disturb whatever benefits you have gained would be unconstitutional. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
And it just brings to mind the whole thing of educating ourselves. Even in terms of the process of whether you must be arrested or released, and yes.
Oh yeah.
That becomes so important, you know. And then the whole thing with the government and the emergency powers that they have.
And how they've been abusing it.
Yeah, and we haven't heard anything. They have renewed it again.
Yes, they renewed it quietly, and I think both the nation and the opposition are just weary of the subject.
So they renewed it recently.
We're limping along. Yes, everybody waiting to see, what court action will be taken to bring some clarity to it. There's an aspect to what the DPP is doing where she says she just wants the Court of Appeal to look at it. But I hope she's prepared to be censured for trying to get citizens to pay for the mistakes of her office.
I sure, yeah. But she, at the end of it now, I wonder who would become the new DPP?
Right? Who, Jeremy?
The deputy.
Yeah.
Taylor.
Well, listen to me. Yes, we can all guess. And you have seen too that Miss Gage Gray has negotiated her separation from
I didn't see that.
the office.
I missed that. When that happened?
The first thing is that Nationwide began to forecast it early on Friday by saying she was to be fired by the end of the day. That's Friday gone.
I remember it was in the paper.
It wasn't.
Previous
She was
to that
she was to be fired by the end of Friday. She wasn't fired. She left, having negotiated a separation package. What is kind of stupid about it, really, is that apparently her contract would expire in March or April, some close date. Are we so petty in our management of things that we couldn't even just let the contract expire and save the
nation,
save the nation, the grief and drama? No, they wanted to fire her, and apparently, I'm gonna say they couldn't fire her without a problem.
Because
and they ended up negotiating a separation.
Because I'm looking at it,
about which they're very quiet.
Yes, because you don't hear anything. But it was out there.
Yeah.
In there, and I'm saying
there's speculation that they had to just pay up the end of her contract.
They couldn't because on the basis of what
we saw
in that report, there's no basis to fire the lady. I'm just looking at it.
Yeah, I don't think there's a basis to fire her, but similarly, there was no comfortable future for her either.
True. Yeah, but
so you want to leave on your terms. Yeah. So we wish her well. I certainly wish her well.
I'm just thinking about it. I tell you something off here, and I say, oh, that's why that never happened for me. But it's how it is. Yeah, but it's kind of interesting what happens. What it has raised for me is the due diligence, and the care that we need to have in terms of taking care of the vulnerable in our society. And I remember what James says, and that's what good religion is about.
Good religion.
And so let us make the connections now. If we are a Christian country, and James in writing to Christians says, this is what good religion is about. Taking care of the homeless, the vulnerable, the aged in our society. We're not doing it. It's not a good look. It's not a good reflection on us who call ourselves a Christian country. And it means that we have to go back, saying, to the drawing board to say, how do we work out this salvation that we have as we speak about? How do you work out this faith that we have on a daily basis? If it is only good enough for a Saturday or a Sunday, for me, it's not good enough. Because if we reflect on the life of our Master Jesus, and we are called to be his disciples, he was in the people's life on a daily basis. He says he went about doing good, representing the heart of his Father. And interestingly, I just read something this morning that somebody took a Bible and says, let us cut out all of the references to the poor, the vulnerable, the Bible. And it says it was like just more than a third of that came out. And I'm saying, wow. So God is always on the side of the downtrodden, the poor, the vulnerable in our society. And we have to take our cue from him in terms of what he has said and what he has done. But it's interesting. So the lady has gone.
Yes.
I wonder who's going to be.
Oh, that was announced already too.
Mm-hmm. She's gone.
They announced her replacement. There was a picture. Yes.
There's her replacement.
Someone has already been named as her replacement.
Like that did set up that was in place already.
Obviously. Yeah, they would have, because even the same reports spoke to high level. All right, we're almost at the break. I'm going to tell you who the replacement is in a short while, because that too was published. And then when we return, I also want us to look at what happened on campus. The name, the identity of the gentleman, the perpetrator has been released. The announcement is that more charges are coming, but having lived on campus myself and recognized the freedom, I mean, this young lady was 19 years old. I mean, myself, I was a new 18-year-old when I arrived on campus, and all the things that happened there, and how do we safeguard, as you say, the vulnerable. Let's take our 7:30 break, and we'll be right back.
Business owners, what do you want our listeners to know about your business? Check out the Business Spotlight every Thursday at 11:15 a.m. inside Lifted with Darren Chosen Smith, catering to all your advertising needs. Call our sales and marketing department now at 876-276-5072 or 876-887-0800, or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road off Hadley Park Road. That's the Business Spotlight right here on Best 100 FM.
Half a tree, 100, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi start?
Chano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience, and then diagnose your problem and get back your transmission brand new. With them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040. Or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13, and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me send you.
You big star. Yeah, man. Respect my boss.
Try to call him, guys. Trust me.
What a relief.
The
Vietnam Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Vietnam Printers, your best choice in printing.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales for a better choice.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. God is good. This is already pastor and friend, Reverend Simon Peter Jones, inviting you, my friends, to listen every Tuesday evening on Best 100 FM at 7:30 p.m. for the program, The Voice of Hope, as we extend hope to the hopeless in this dying world. God is good. Be encouraged. Hope is in the Lord.
Having trouble getting parts for your Mazda? Maljam Auto Parts is your solution. Find Maljam at the new and convenient location off Upper Waltham Park Road at 9 Kingswood Avenue. Maljam Auto Parts, with over 25 years experience, providing all Mazda parts, new and used. Call 923-4389 and 461-1786. Maljam Auto Parts, serving your Mazda needs.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on the Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back.
All right, so before the break, we're just hunting down the name of the lady who is tapped to replace Mrs. Gage Gray.
I wish her all the best.
Coming in at a difficult time. Her
rumored to be selected to head.
Yeah, Dr. Nadine Spence.
She's a commentator on CVM.
Oh yes.
Yeah, she's just recently received her doctorate at the last graduation. But she's
one of your classmates.
Commentator. No, she's at UWI, and it's different. Yeah.
Okay, this is the picture I saw. Oh boy, somebody says, so Nadine Spence rewarded for her defense of the government. Well, sing and get her supper.
Oh my Lord. Oh Jesus.
So she's not an expert in the area?
I don't know. I'm trying to remember what she did.
Yeah, man, it was announced on Nationwide. Dr. Nadine Spence to be appointed interim CEO of the CPSFA.
Mm-hmm.
Described here as gender activist.
We know what you know about Picnic.
Hmm?
Picnic.
So she's not a oh boy. Oh dear. It's always, I mean, when the leadership for Heart was being appointed, there were, a similar type of commentary about the person's fitness for the position.
Oh, we said
but
it
we haven't
because she
really
said
heard anything coming out of Heart.
I know what has happened to Heart. They recently sent 3 of their senior directors on leave for some fraud thing. That was in the media.
Oh?
Yes.
I missed that.
Yes. Yes.
Recently?
No, man, like in the last 2-3 weeks.
We didn't. You and I didn't talk about it.
No, we didn't. But
they're persons you know, or okay.
But it's Fascinating.
So it was in the media.
It was in the media. It was in the media.
Hmm.
But there's nothing wrong in defending good policies, but there's something wrong. There's a gentleman that writes in the Observer, and some of the times I'm saying, okay, but let's get it balanced. As public people who have the public commentary on what is happening, we need to be balanced in terms of when something is good, and something is bad. But for me, my commentary is really based on how does it impact lives of the ordinary Jamaican. Because they make up most of Jamaica anyway, don't they?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. And we have to keep that in the front of our heads, of our minds when we are commenting on it. It cannot be a policy that is impacting only a few people, but not taking into consideration the overall well-being of all Jamaicans. And I guess I've gotten that from my mom. Blessings to you, my mom. Saw her yesterday and she was upbeat and
looking good.
And looking good. Every time I see my mom, she bless me. That's
a good reason to see her more often.
You know that. But it is. So yesterday the headline was terror. It wasn't terror. It was with the young lady that was held at
on the Mona campus by a fellow student.
Yeah.
We respect the fact that university students are adults.
Correct.
They may be young adults, some of them, but they're adults, and the freedoms which they enjoy are guaranteed to them. But, there is still a need, I believe, to be mindful of certain dangers in the environment. We see in other jurisdictions that the campus, the principal, the campus political and administrative structure continue to have a duty of care and maintain a duty of care to those who are on campus, students, lecturers, and so on, and certain predatory, harmful extremes. You have to put systems in place to catch it and to deal with it. And it looks to me that our campus environment has become so diverse and is so much a mimicry of the open society.
Wider society.
Yes, that we need to hold campus community more accountable for things that happen there.
Yeah, but remember, it's a long time ago, but security has always been a challenge on the campus because of its proximity to certain communities. But in those times, they were more protective of those of us who are on campus because a lot of the persons who live in the community close to the university campus actually worked on campus. So it is. But the whole thing of security has become a major thing. And the greater thing of community, you live in community. You remember on hall, when we were on hall, they were just 4 basic halls, but now it has mushroomed into a community.
It's a housing development.
Yeah, major.
It's a housing development. I'm there thinking, if you were in a hotel, if a guest in a hotel kept someone locked up in a room and was torturing them and so on, I am sure that when the suit is filed, the hotel would be blamed in some way, whether because you don't have sufficient security, whether because, I don't know. I'm thinking about it, thinking what I'm saying. Is it really that when you send your child on campus and you pay tuition and young adult, that they really are, is like them just out there in the world?
They're out there in the world because most of them would have gotten there at 18.
Yeah, I know, but if we take under the occupiers liability law, when someone is on your premises and certain things happen to them, you, the owner of the premises, always get looked at to see whether you had a system in place to safeguard the well-being of the people who are in your place. I do not accept that students on campus, albeit adults, are out there it's as if they live in Augustown or in Papine, and when if something happened to them in their habitation, they're on their own. I do not accept that ought to be the state of things. And if you try and remember those cases coming out of America where kids are hazed to the point where somebody dies. The university is held, the frat house, the structure does not escape.
It doesn't, but we know.
There must be some
when we're on
duty.
campus, you was a buckle people, and after the famous.
I'm glad you're confessing. Please listen to Pastor. I've never bottled a soul.
I never said when we.
You said we.
We, but I'm saying we because we were a community. When somebody out of line, you would have buckled them. But then remember that famous incident when the ladies from Taylor took a dog and put the uniform.
Yes, you have spoken of it.
And then people are held responsible for it, and that was the end of it because we call it
by campus. Or when you said people were held responsible, what do you mean?
People were held
by whom? Who held them
by
responsible?
The university.
Okay.
And there was a trial, and people, I think, a couple of people were told to leave because it came to them.
All right. So you're saying there's precedent for
yes, man.
the university
there is.
officials
yeah.
playing a role and taking part. Well, let me tell you, our parents need to sue the university. The first thing is they're there to study. They're not shacking up. And that was not a shacking up thing in it. That was plain out held hostage and tortured.
She was going to look
How
for
did
him.
that go on for days without nobody heard?
Because everybody
when you see the extent of the burns on her body, that couldn't have been done quietly.
Everybody, you don't remember, everybody mind their own business.
Yeah, but I mean, they ought to have a security presence on the
There is, because
anyway.
remember when we were on campus, you couldn't, even if you tried to go, the porter was there and was saying, what is your business? If you're not a student, you're only allowed for a certain time. But guess what used to happen? When exam time come, man in a man room a study and all the different kind of things that happen. But as you are saying, they live in community, but there's somebody must be responsible for what it is that has happened. Talk about Chuck, that was a major thing in our time.
I mean, they should be them. They have to be more protective of the students who are in their care. Not all of them are adults to be left. But what I was saying to you, if in a hotel environment, adults are there doing whatever they're doing, and you could look to the hotel for liability when certain extreme things happen.
It's in the same way.
Why would it be any different on campus? I've had a case, I can recall at least one case where a guest was raped in the hotel bathroom and the hotel was sued.
I remember that. I remember it in Jamaica here.
Yeah.
And security.
And it was one of their own security guards
who did it.
that was accused. But so the point I'm making is that there is always a duty of care when you have a system that you organize, administer, and run. You have campus police. Why bother with police? Why not just rely on the nearby police to respond to things?
We have campus police.
Yeah, we have campus police.
Campus police separate from the
I'm just looking
police.
to see if persons are picking up on the fact that the university has a role to play in safeguarding the well-being of the students. And after all, is the university accept that student as being fit and proper to be living in that community?
Yeah.
Because if some effort were made to determine if he was some kind of psychotic individual.
Why, sister?
Anyway, I'm just saying.
No,
we have to broaden our sense of responsibility for those who are at this rate. Now, I would not send my child to UWI.
My dear.
You'd just be thinking that, but it better me keep the child here and something that I know where she sleep, where she going, if she have a friend, who could? Oh my, it's terrible.
But minute, and then you widen the discussion to even some of the influences that happen on the university campuses. So, what do we do? Do
All
we
right.
prepare them? Do we strengthen them? And
No, we have to strengthen always. We have to
strengthen them as
and prepare.
parents, and we are sending them.
But when
home.
we send them out into the world, and they are in places that have parameters and borders, those who guard those borders and set the parameters must carry out their responsibility. It cannot be that is open season. Here's a student who said she's perplexed as to how the female student was held captive for 3 days without anyone being aware. Well, I gather the leader might be quoting her, without no one being aware is what is there. According to her, the walls on the hall are very thin.
We knew that. Don't we know that?
Yes. So you have to, and it always goes back to, who is my neighbor? What do I care about my neighbor? Because if you're you live next door to young Mr. Hyde, and you hear screams and whatever coming from, or a certain type of noise, aren't you just going to assume that whatever is happening, they're consenting adults? You don't care? So even that sense and or needing to prepare students or young people to be their brother's keeper, be your sister's keeper. When you hear something that is disturbing, do something about it. You're not saying even to go and knock on the door, because when we were on campus and too much noise coming from one, you're going to knock on the door.
I say, what?
Or knock on the wall.
I say, hey, because,
Yeah.
I just thinking about it and just dying with laugh because some of the things that we experience and know. I said, okay.
Yeah. So even to teach people that it is okay to care and to intervene, because you never know, it might save a life.
It is.
I personally, when I look at the damage to that young lady, because there's a video that I don't know.
How it got out.
How it got out, but there's a video. When I look at what was happening, that guy was working his way to killing her.
And it came out of the fact that she gave him, according to
allegedly,
that she gave him buns. Aye, what a thing! But
that's why he was burning her body.
Oh, because she gave him bun.
Yeah, but as you said it, I realized that. Yeah.
No, but it is but
he was working his way steadily to killing her. The next step, because after you do somebody like that, what you're going to do? Open the door and say, "All right, I'm done now." You think about it.
It's true. I'm in agreement with you.
Yeah.
But it is a reflection on deeper and wider issues in our society.
Yes.
Because the first thing is, if you're in community and you care about the other person, all right, here's how it works. So that's your room, but everybody notice the comments and going and say, oh, something the girlfriend come check him.
Yeah.
But if you are thinking not being fast, but you're saying,
I shouldn't leave the room.
Where my door? And then you're hearing the noises.
Yeah.
Because if you burn somebody with iron,
So listen, man, unless him
muffler or gagged or something.
Yeah.
So it is now, let's take it out into our communities. Business,
Yeah.
Maestro. That's where it's coming from. Business, them
are big people.
And as long as them, affect me, I'm good.
Yeah.
And those kind of thoughts and attitudes, we have to change it. We talk about, remember we talk about individuals and community, and we turn a blind eye. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. And what is happening now? It's happening in our inner cities. Oh, it no matter me. So even when the Don call for the other lady's daughter, it's not my daughter. So I really don't care what is happening. So this is a call even for us to become more aware and to remember that we live in community. We live in community. We live in community. And then it is another thing now which points to mental health issues. Because why would a young man,
20 years old,
a young man, believe that she is his property and him can do anything he wants, or something wrong in
she's 19
and
he's 20.
And then what about her parents? Because we have, as a family, developed a WhatsApp group. So anything that happening, daddy.
But it's clear that he took away her phone.
Yeah.
So he was deliberate in isolating her
But somebody must know. But me not get a call in like at a certain point.
Right.
Like I know that one day Matty even take the bus, him come in at a certain time. Me say, what, boss? Me not see him. So me immediately call and say, what's happening? Him say, oh, I left work later than usual, but I'm on my way home. So that is, again, about community.
How you
and
live.
family. Yes, man.
Yeah. The relationship.
Those issues that just, it speaks to even deeper issues that are happening in our society. Because
if I'm accustomed to hearing from my daughter by a certain time, she's on campus, whatever the situation might be, and 2-3 days me not hear from her. Hey, that door,
no sir,
the place is being powered. There's no, and I also said about her friends that 3 days. Listen, when you have relationship, you're in relationship with someone, and I mean, is your sister, is your friend, is your whatever, and a certain amount of time pass that exceeds the norm, you are hunting.
Yes.
And we must be, tomorrow we'll talk about the persistence and the shameless audacity with which we must address things. It might save a life.
No,
so I'm glad that eventually someone spoke up, because that man was working his way to doing more and more, and whatever pleasure he was getting out of treating her in that fashion, the more he did it, the more intense it got, and the more he wanted more. You could tell.
And I'm just wondering about this young man's parents too. How them a feel?
Oh Lord. Yes.
How them a feel?
As parents, we just imagine what could. I would say that he's insane. I would say, son, we're just gonna get you the mental health care that you need, because that's not any type of normal behavior. All right. There is a really nice picture of the JDF soldiers preparing the pitch for the reopening of Parliament.
The pitch.
Yeah, man. The red carpet is being laid. Yeah, they lay red carpet outside Garden House. Look at that. And there is great excitement in just this anticipatory comment from the Gleaner that the throne speech. Why are we doing a throne speech? Anyway.
Should be the people's speech.
The people's speech addressed to the nation. Anyway, Sir Patrick Allen is to deliver the throne speech. Maybe it contains some farewell comments from because surely I think they are going to ditch us. That is my prayer. That Britain will say enough. They shake Jamaica off of them skirt tail.
You think that's going to happen?
I believe it will happen.
Recently,
because we clearly know one leave.
Recently in Canada, 2 or 3 members in the Quebec thing refused to give allegiance to King Charles, and they were not allowed to come in. They said, no. You know,
I missed that in the news. Get those nuggets and those shares.
No, man, they refuse, and then said, only can't come in here at all. And I'm saying, no, we're not swearing our allegiance to King Charles and the thing.
Jamaica. Shame on Jamaica.
I'm saying, and they were put out. But it is should now become the people's speech. And if it is a people's speech, there's a shift in mindset. Because the comment that Mr. Thwaites made yesterday, Reverend Thwaites made yesterday, is so timely, because if it is a people's speech, then you would not be in a position to comment on it, because we have gone into this throne speech, I put the people at the center,
The
of
center
it. And if they're at the center of the budgetary process, then we can really examine it and say, yes, man.
And the $1 trillion budget.
Yes.
First. The headline says, Hyman expects tabling of historic $1 trillion budget today. Because we ended the budget year at 998 billion after after Dr. Nigel Clark kept coming and saying, please, sir, we need more.
And he made some very interesting thing.
The supplements.
He says that one of the things is they have collected more than they expected. So between April to December 2022, they collected 567 in terms of revenues, and they expected to collect 559. So they were 7.7 billion ahead of what they expected. He says the primary surplus, which is the money used to service the debt, was 119 billion, while they were expected 103. So they were ahead of course. He also points to the fact that with what has happened with salaries and so on and the readjustment, that the wage bill is going to go up. But in light of that, so what is happening now? RGD lockdown yesterday.
Yes.
They locked down yesterday. I mean, never get no call to say. I thought they were
sick out, cripples RGD.
Because them said the adjustment now make no sense to them. And remember, TJ was saying that last week too.
Right, yes. They had lost their first amongst
the
equal
teachers,
position.
And the teachers have not signed on. So headaches ahead for the finance minister. Because he had drawn up his budget on the fact that with this realignment with the 1 to 16 levels within the public service, that everybody would have lined up and it would be easier. But some people are saying no. Teachers, this Lasanja, Mrs. Harrison, remember last week they rejected it out and about 95% of the delegates were said, no, we're not taking this. Customs had says no. TGS says no. RGD, which is an executive agent, have said no. So the executive agencies, which is Customs, RGD, TJ, have said no. So, Mr. Minister, you have a wonderful headache on your hands.
Well, that might be why Mr. Hyman is forecasting that the budget this year will see an increased wage bill. I think it ended this year. This year, the compensation review that's just done has led to about 100 billion increase. Well, he says it will cost 100 billion in the next 3 years. And so he's anticipating that the public sector wage bill for 2023 to 2024 will be about 280 billion and 300 billion. So it will be between 280 and 300 billion.
That's 30% of the budget, you know.
But isn't that too high?
Yes, it's high because before they have said that needs to be in a certain range.
Of course, there has to be ratios
in terms of
for the economics to flow. But what it means now is trimming the public sector. So you can pay people well and hire less people. Use more technology.
That's possible. So it was a prelude to this year. We're going to get some major retrenchment in public service.
But listen, everywhere you look, Microsoft was getting rid of 10,000 employees. Was it Google in the technology?
All the technology people are doing
are trimming their sales. So why shouldn't
at this point in time we take our break as we trim at the 8 o'clock trim our sales and report to it. But when we come back, somebody asked me something online.
Yeah.
You see him play the You see him play the
Best FM 100.5 on your dial. Keep listening.
Hello, I'm Moira Alderson with the BBC News. Agents from India's tax department are conducting searches at the BBC offices in Delhi and Mumbai. The department has said they are there to carry out what they call verification of certain documents. The operation follows a BBC documentary criticised by the government. Here's Sanjay Dasgupta.
Income tax agents are in BBC offices in Delhi and Mumbai, and the timing is indeed curious. Why suddenly now? At the end of January, the BBC airs this documentary on the role of the current Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, in 2002. He is the Chief Minister of the Western state of Gujarat, and that state sees furious religious rioting. Ever since then, Mr. Modi has faced persistent questions on his inability to actually stop the violence. And the BBC documentary focused on that question.
The UN chief has welcomed the decision by President Assad to allow UN aid deliveries from Turkey into Syria's rebel-held areas hard hit by the massive earthquake. 2 more border crossings will now be opened, adding to the one currently in use. Assistance is also needed for people who've lost their homes. Angela Kearney is the UNICEF representative in Syria.
Many of the people who've left the large urban, broken, damaged houses are now staying in shelters. And they're in pretty awful conditions, mostly in schools, some mosques and some sports stadiums. And so they're not made to be shelters or to be homes for families.
The earthquake, which struck a week ago, is now known to have killed almost 40,000 people in Turkey and Syria. North Korea is to release a series of postage stamps featuring the daughter of the country's leader, Kim Jong-un. It's the latest event to promote the child, as Michael Bristow reports.
The stamps show Kim Joo-ae with her father at the test firing of an intercontinental ballistic missile late last year. One of them shows the youngster, who's thought to be only 10 years old, hand in hand with the North Korean leader. Some analysts believe Kim Joo-ae is being groomed as a future leader herself, but her public appearances could also be a way to soften the image of her father, to show him as a family man and someone working hard to defend the next generation of North Koreans.
Michael Bristow with that report. The World Health Organization is to hold an emergency meeting on the outbreak of the Marburg virus in Equatorial Guinea. 9 people have died from the hemorrhagic fever, and there are a further 16 suspected cases in the eastern Kientum province, where the disease has never previously been recorded. The deaths have been linked to a funeral ceremony, with 4 of the victims members of the same family. Like Ebola, the virus spreads between humans through the transmission of bodily fluids. This is World News from the BBC. Ammunition and other supplies for Ukraine are top of the agenda at a NATO meeting due to take place later. Russia appears to have launched a major offensive with the town of Bakhmut under particular pressure. And although Ukraine has lost little territory, NATO's Secretary-General has warned its military is using up ammunition faster than it's being provided. He's calling on member countries to increase production. The US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said the alliance would stand by Kyiv.
We will support Ukraine's fight for freedom over the long haul and help Ukraine hold and advance during the spring counteroffensive. With unity and urgency, we will again deliver the support that we have promised to Ukraine.
New Zealand's Prime Minister Chris Hipkins says Cyclone Gabrielle, which has pummeled much of the North Island, is the most significant weather event in a generation. About 250,000 people are without power, falling trees have smashed houses, and numerous landslides have carried others away and blocked roads. Many people are displaced, some forced to swim to safety after rivers burst their banks. Communications links are down in places. In South Africa, a head-on collision between a bus and an armoured van has killed at least 20 people and injured more than 60 others. The accident happened on a bridge on a busy highway. The bus rolled off into the river below. At least 3 more passengers are missing, and police divers are assisting the search. The Japanese businessman who helped turn Toyota into one of the world's most recognized car makers has died, aged 97. Shoichiro Toyoda oversaw the manufacture of Toyota vehicles across the world from the 1980s after he took over as company president. Toyota is a family business. Mr. Toyoda was the son of the firm's founder. and is the father of the current president. He died of heart failure. BBC News.
Business owners, what do you want our listeners to know about your business? Check out the Business Spotlight every Thursday at 11:15 a.m. inside Lifted with Darren Chosen Smith, catering to all your advertising needs. Call our sales and marketing department now at 876-276-5072 or 876-887-0800 or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road off Hagley Park Road. That's the Business Spotlight right here on Best 100 FM.
Half a tree, 100, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi start?
Chano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto FM. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. You hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me send you.
You big star. Yeah, man. Respect my boss. Try and call him, cause trust me.
Good afternoon.
What a relief.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road off Hagley Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales for a better choice.
Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2 1/4 Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
Believe me, it's so easy. 1, 2, 3.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-Time Taxi Service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all, you can call us on 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. God is good. This is already pastor and friend, Reverend Simon Peter Jones, inviting you, my friends, to listen every Tuesday evening on Best 100 FM at 7:30 p.m. for the program, The Voice of Hope, as we extend hope to the hopeless in this dying world. God is good. Be encouraged. Hope is in the Lord.
Jamaica, we're going up and not under. No more slaves any longer. We were once weak, but now we are stronger, stronger, stronger. Join me, Darren Chosen Smith, Mondays to Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. inside Lifted, right here on Best 100 FM, 100.1 to 100.9 FM. Tune in and be informed, motivated, entertained, and spiritually lifted. Your week Weekdays will never be the same again. Mondays to Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Inside Lifted on Best 100 FM, 100.1 to 100.9 FM. With yours truly, Darren Chosen Smith. Tune in and be lifted.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning and welcome back. We are going to open the lines now so you can share with us on the issues we've been discussing. The numbers to call, 619-1508 and 279-8473. So that's 876-619-1508 and 876-279-8473. Right, we've been speaking quite a bit about the DPP's expressed intent to appeal what she says is an error that has
on their side.
On their side.
Not the judge, but them. Oh boy.
Good morning and welcome.
1 second. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the Connection.
Yeah, how are you doing?
We're good. Great. You're great. East Central.
Yeah. Yeah. We always have a lot of things to talk about, but you know.
Pick your best one.
Yeah, may have a little bad experience in the health system. I want to talk about it this morning, you know?
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. May have two examples with the Mandeville Hospital, you know, the health system is broken, it's not working properly, you know. I was at home and a young lady, she's pregnant. She lived next door. She was ill, so my car was low, so but my sister car, my rush out to the Mandeville Hospital, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we reached there about after this is a bit after 9 p.m. in the night, yeah. And it was an emergency based on what was happening to her. She was there from about that time. We got through about after 2 a.m. in the morning. And the funny thing about it, they didn't have any ultrasound machine in a big regional hospital like that, you know? They were sending her to do it at Hargraves at that hour of the night, you know? Yeah.
Hargraves being up another hospital?
It's a private hospital.
The private hospital, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if a big regional hospital as Mandeville Hospital would serve like people from parts of Chillarney, parts of St. Ann, parts of Clarendon, you know, parts of St. Elizabeth, close to Manchester.
Yes,
and
yes.
They don't have a ultrasound machine.
Maybe they should get some of that Sigma money that is going to KPH.
Yes. And the next example I have,
yes.
I work with a company, so we were working on Spur Tree Hill Friday last week. We were doing some farmer installation there, and I was telling my co-workers that this place is very dangerous, you know. So Every time I hear the trucks come in, I would come out of the vehicle and stand up, you know. Vehicle run off over there all the time. To my surprise, I was on a ladder, and one of my coworkers was at the side door of the van, talking on his phone, you know. And to my surprise, a car just came down very fast, couldn't stop in the line, and he swerved to the left, hit our bus, you know.
Yes.
We had took me and my co-worker. Nothing happened to me now.
Okay.
But I followed him to the hospital, and we were there from. It was an emergency, you know. My co-worker, his chest was paining him. His left hand was broken in the wrist, but he was in a lot of pain. So
yes. And so these are accident victims who have come in. So that's an emergency. Because you don't know what happened to them.
Yes. So we took him to the X-ray, and I was there with him from after 3 p.m. in the afternoon until 9:30. I left him there. His girlfriend was there. Other co-workers were there. And when I went to reach him after 10, I called him. He hadn't got through
Still
yet.
hadn't been dealt with. Wow.
Yes, he got through after 2 p.m. in the morning. They found out that his elbow, his wrist was broken.
2 a.m.
Yes. Before I go, Mr. Tufton, every MP in Jamaica, but they have a pet allowance. Like if you have a pit bull, you get allowance for the pet to see vets and stuff like that.
Yes.
When they are sick, MPs, councillors, they fly out to Miami, you know? They don't use the health system that we have here. So, if they don't use it,
they won't experience the difficulties, my brother.
Yes, they don't use it.
And they won't be motivated to fix it.
Yes. So, even the nurses were telling us that they're understaffed. A lot of Cuban nurses are there. But you have a few doctors, and they're overworked. And, its system is broken.
So that's what I was going to ask you, if you got a sense of why the long wait. I mean, so we know, so they just lack resources, not properly resourced.
Yes, and you don't really have a lot of experienced doctors in the health system. You have a lot of young doctors.
Yes.
And they are there maybe just for the money. They don't really love the job either, you know?
Well, I mean, I don't think that's a fair conclusion, because anybody who works under a certain amount of stress and strain will appear unloving at some point. But the fact that they stay, remember, they can migrate. They can even set up their own practice in communities, be closer to the patients, but they stay and they work. And the truth is, when we do that budget and allocate resources based on what works for people and what answers the need of the people, we'll see different results. I mean, we're here looking at the first $1 trillion budget in this season. How much of it you think is going to go into hospitals and into healthcare and into education and into really addressing the needs of the people? If 30% of it already is going to go into salaries and wages for the public sector, what's left to really handle things like healthcare, education, security, real security now, not, whatever it is that passes for security in this season? We do have a lot of work ahead of us. I'm so sorry that, your
co-worker and that other lady.
Yes.
Yes. And that's true, you're talking. And you see, before I go, I would say, I don't know if you watch it. Sometimes I watch local news.
Yes, I do watch local news.
You see people from all over Jamaica they be coming on TVG and TVM. But like when they have a serious illness that need overseas help, They have to be begging.
Crowdfunding.
My daughter, my son need to do a surgery.
Yes,
and we don't have the the 10,000 US.
They don't have the money, and sometimes we don't have the facilities.
Yes. So what I would say to the government, because Mr. Tufton and him go. I went to the same high school. He was way before my time, but we went to the same high school. I would say to him, the next budget coming up, if you could, like maybe you could start on 200 million or 300 million Jamaican dollar to assist
a fund that answers those needs.
These citizens that they don't have any money to go do that.
NHF does it.
That money they could have put aside.
NHF will send you go for it.
Yeah, NHF has what they call, because I know people have applied and have gotten help. NHF has a facility, but it is inadequate. That allows people like emergency things, people need to do dialysis and special care.
To go foreign for treatment?
To go foreign, yeah.
Okay.
But it's inadequate. That's the reality of it.
So make it,
make it bigger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the government could maybe put that in the budget. Like they could say, every year, read the budget, we have 200 million or 300 million, say, assist people who need like specialized
care. That's not available here.
Yes, and before I go now, you guys, sound good, but to be more effective, if you could, you need to, don't be scared to step on a few toes sometimes. A bit diplomatic.
All right, we're going to start and practice with yours. Let's practice on your toes. Volunteer your toes. The next time you call, we'll get controversial.
Yeah, man. All right. That's the idea.
Have a good day and stay safe.
Yeah, but
good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning, Your Highness. How are you?
Good morning, sir. How are you doing? Good morning.
I'm going to fight the fight and keep the spirit of all that is happening around.
Yes.
I just want to encourage us to look on the other side of the pendulum that is swinging right across the world. I was a former victim of abuse by women where I grew up in a home.
Yeah.
Every time them come, about 20 and 15 years old at me at the time. When them come home, them just put on lip on me and I wonder what is them problem. That it makes me grow up. That even when people try to show me love at high school, I beat them same way. So
hello.
Healing. It's baggages a lot of these people.
Hello. You gotta know, my brother.
Yeah.
Can we repeat? Yes.
You hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you now. But repeat the last two sentences.
I'm saying that a lot of people who used to walking around, especially in this country, we need a big healing process to take place. Victims themselves, the same man who is victimizing this woman is a victim himself of his parenting or of his community or of his school, whatever, whether it's bullying, you know what it is. And the same girl that sits there and takes the abuse, whether she do it in silence or gag or whatever it is, the point is that she saw the signs, like all of us, and it's kind of ignore it. A change. You can't change leopard. It has to heal. And you're going to heal and change, but it's no longer leopard. And what I have learned, if you have a look at 2 minutes, I can give you a history of what I've gone through to experience healing. And what was very interesting, that if I hear from even your more pastor or your highness, at that time, you're talking foolishness. I hear a 9-year-old child who's abused. I'm talking of myself. After reckoning with those who have fostered that kind of surrounding where I used to live. When they repented, I forgave them because I realized they're young people having children and having them problem like everybody else. And when I hear them apologize and cry, I just felt like an energy swelling up in my stomach. The same energy that made me lash out at people. And just come right up to my throat. I had the phone on my ears listening to them. And I felt like I was choking. And I go, because it was in the throat.
Yes.
And you're like, and a 9-year-old child crying out of my mouth, and I'm like, what? It's happens. But what is interesting that I identified the sound immediately. I realized it was a 9-year-old child who I was. And the funny thing about it, the person on the line who heard the voice hear me.
Also,
my mother who tried to who was dying me like a 9-year-old. And when she apologized, simply my father came on the phone and I simply explained to him to his stomach swell up, feel like my choke on my gut, and the same night, and I found my healing.
Deliverance,
Well delivered, brother.
All I'm saying, Pastor, is that there's a lot of people, whether from school days, whether from community, you name it. When I was growing up, I was going to the Indian ghetto. And I was passing, walking towards, there's no fence or whatever. And I was passing a home, and I see a 5-7-year-old girl just flying like a cartoon character with her hand and foot in front of her, drop on the ground. And when I look on the bed, I saw a grandmother washing a big, thick black lady. Say, you thinking about my warm marking? But you need to wash and cook and everything. This is a daughter, child that she left with her. After that's why I vowed and said, any of my children come, me I resign so you can go home. I don't want to teach you, help and a grandmother. Nobody can make my people. And that's what I did. I left working for people and go home, go look after my children. All I'm saying, that we need a healing. Whether them gun down your child, gun down your brother, gun down your father, you know what it is that they have done?
Forgiveness.
Do name it, man. This set of leadership in this country needs to come forward because they're old. I'm not talking politicians.
Right.
Politicians is a builder and an instigator of the system, but we need, because we did not take the time to help, whether in the churches, to heal our people in the churches, because we continue to see bylaws and oppress, and we call, whether we cut them off or backbench, all the things that we practice.
Yeah.
We are just abuse people.
Well, when we first started this program, one of the things we were talking a lot about in the early days was that Jamaicans are all the victims of trauma, and there is a process of healing and reconciliation that we need to go through as a nation, and the trauma is, some of it is recent trauma. In fact, I was saying we all suffer from post-traumatic disorder, all of us. All of us, and there is a process to heal and to have experienced reconciliation. And we're going to constantly see the overwhelming surges of violence and, the domestic, as they say, partner violence. We're going to keep seeing these things in larger than acceptable numbers until we walk the walk of repentance and get the healing done. I'm hearing, is your radio on?
Come up on the break. Yeah, my brother, we thank you for that sharing that.
Break, but thanks for sharing it.
It's powerful, yeah, man. Good.
Half a tree, 100, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi start?
Chano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time on shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and then diagnose your problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. You hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me send you.
You big star. Yeah, man. Respect my boss. Try to call him, guys. Trust me. What a relief.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. God is good. This is already pastor and friend, Reverend Simon Peter Jones, inviting you, my friends, to listen every Tuesday evening on Best 100 FM at 7:30 p.m. for the program, The Voice of Hope, as we extend hope to the hopeless in this dying world. God is good. Be encouraged. Hope is in the Lord.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
You can call us at 926-3866. We are something special on the road.
Having trouble getting parts for your Mazda? Maljam Auto Parts is your solution. Find Maljam at the new and convenient location off Upper Welcome Park Road at 9 Kingswood Avenue. Maljam Auto Parts, with over 25 years experience, providing all Mazda parts, new and used. Call 923-4389 and 461-1786. Maljam Auto Parts, serving your Mazda needs.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on the Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good. It's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning, caller. Thank you for holding and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
And your listeners.
Yes, Jigsaw, how are you today?
What kind of macaraka attitude that we have right now?
What you call it?
Pakaraka. That sounds like something out of Africa, man.
That sound musical. I heard somebody say chaka chaka.
All time stays there.
Pakaraka.
I used to use that term in my community. Years ago. I mean, I don't understand the PCP. Right? She scored a home goal. And then she about
Then they appeal. Oh, that's a good way to put it.
What is the thing? Publicity?
Yeah.
My question is,
yes.
Seriously now. If you wrongly charge somebody, plead guilty, and a sentence is delivered, right? I don't understand the people of challenge the sentence, because you are now saying that you want to set them under a new law. It wasn't in place when that offense was committed.
Which would mean, too, that the person was not tried or charged under that new law.
Right.
Well, okay, let's clarify. Let's clarify something. The man in question, he was charged and he was arrested and charged under the new law, and the offense was committed under the new law.
It was?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was
Yes.
earlier.
No. Yeah, so it was under the new law. I think the law took effect November, and he was found with whatever in December, but it was under the new law. Yeah, so that's right. But what you were saying, the correct point for you to make, or that I thought you were making, is that having convicted him under one provision in the act and sentenced him in accordance with that, to now set aside the sentence and treat him as having been convicted under a whole different section, that is almost like putting him under a new law, because nothing before the court was based on the correct section. He pleaded guilty based on what he knew and what was being put against him.
You need a screwdriver.
Yeah, you can't unring the bell is where you're going. Yeah.
If we can follow up like that, we expect proper administration in that area. So
Yeah.
what we should put on
Right. Listen, that is the big point too. In some jurisdictions, when that kind of error is revealed, they then go and set aside, trample upon, investigate, open up everything. That if it is a particular person who did it, then they go and reopen, because they say, well, if your competence is so weak, then everything else that you do becomes open to question.
Wow.
Yeah, because if you watch what goes on in other jurisdictions, you'll see them doing it when the prosecutor make a certain kind of error, or if a judge is found to have been compromised, they look back and say, but hold on, we were letting this person. What about all these other cases?
And you're going to corrupt. That point is up to the corrupt.
That's a new word. A new expression. This is the morning for it, my brother. Yeah.
It's all
yes. Yeah. And I don't even think she realized that when you, even to have come out and said he was charged under it was an error. Mind you, I'm grateful for knowing it, because now you know when you're before them and when things are happening, you have to make sure. Yeah.
Is a charge that being preferred?
I've been able to listen to all the programs since morning. Activities and people. Have you had any lawyers on yet to comment on it?
On other programs?
Yeah, on the programs.
No, I don't know how other programs are dealing with it. I haven't. I haven't invited other lawyers to comment on it. I'm vain enough to think that my commentary is sound. But I did
share what Peter Champagne.
I can agree with you on that. But remember, you are on the program, so you want to.
Yeah. No, so what we did share was the commentary from Mr. Peter Champagne, King's Counsel, and an attorney at law, Paul Gentles, who was actually the attorney who represented the convicted man, Mr. Mundell. Yes, both perspectives were short on giving insight into the constitutional protection that an accused or an arrested or a detained person has. There is provision in the Constitution that when you are arrested or if you're charged, you must know the law, the charges, you must know why you have been brought before the courts. And when you get that information and you act on it, And in this case, the man acted on it irreversibly. He pleaded guilty. Yes, he pleaded guilty, and he has already got the benefit of all the goodness that comes with someone who throw themselves on the mercy of the court quickly. How do you take that back? By saying you made a mistake. You can't take that back.
No, man, I'm public as it's done. Some part of the game of getting up to look at the game with all the nonsense on elsewhere.
Yes, but well, you see, like the DPP obviously cannot resist playing to the gallery. People criticize the light judgment, so you have to appear to be doing something about it and talking about it is in the interest of the public or something like that. No, it is in the interest of the public that when they get something good, they're allowed to keep it. Anyway.
You only speak to this first retire.
Oh yes. That's coming up, isn't it?
Yes. Not even she can. Not even she can reverse time.
On us carpet of yours. Or confused, which are confused.
Yeah. So it will be interesting to see what the court does with it.
Okay, boy, but it doesn't spell well for us at all.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
That's what I was commenting on. Yeah.
All right. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, my brother. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, let's call to make some slight quick comments on the things at university with the young miss. Well, as far as we probably know, when I was there, that could easily happen easily. The thing with the dog and so on, I don't want to call the name of the person, but the male involved was from Chancellor Hall.
Yes, we know.
I don't know his right name.
The challenge.
Name.
Hello?
Go ahead.
You know his whole name.
When you go to camp, when I go to campus the first time, you don't have a name. They give you a name. And 99.9% of the time, I can't tell you my name and ear. We know. They would fire you. They would fire you from your job.
Well, what I'd like to know how you earned the name.
All I can say is my name was WPJ. I can't tell you the meaning because they
yes.
And so on. Now, strange enough, when they had Precious Ball, I was just telling a lady here. She nearly stayed with laugh when I tell her what happened. When you have to pass through custom when you go in.
Oh. Yes, man.
I never know that university people cause so much bad word.
Oh, jeez, man. It's when you reach, you find out.
Hello?
Yeah,
yes, it's true. We hearing you.
The most bad word that never hear in my life upon campus. Understand? Which I can't even mention. So let's move on. When I was there, it was easy. Robbery was common.
Yeah, it was.
When you wash your clothes, you have to sit down and watch it. When I was there, the campus was open as ever. You see, all the main gate, I don't know if it's ever locked. There's a gate that lead up to the hospital there. Anybody can do it. When you get up in the morning, I was living on Block D at Chancellor Hall, right? And if you go in Taylor Hall and Chancellor Hall and Irving, there's a board there with the famous people that pass through there. And Trevor Monroe is and Bruce Golding,
DJ.
Orlando Patterson. Immediately couldn't use the word them and some others. Now what I mean, what could happen? Many times people used to stranger up on the hall, go in a bathroom and anything there. It might be a man next door. Man live with a woman, me have woman live for a little week and so on. And nobody no complaints, no. Over you take. It was common.
Do you agree with me? Do you agree with me, though, that there needs to be greater control and that the university administration itself should be held to higher standards in safeguarding the people who come there to study? Because what you're describing, except for Irving Hall, which had a lot more structure and decorum around its arrangements.
No. I disagree with you. The reason why I said that is
Yes.
when I was going to come for the first time and I get the form to pull out,
Yes.
I Coffee Hall, I pick up Mary Sequel Hall. I never know university now, and so somebody laugh and say, a pure woman there.
Yes,
Sequel
yes.
Mary Sequel is surrounded and guarded. Irving was more than Mary Sequel.
Yeah, we know that.
More than, but not as bad as Taylor Hall or Chancellor.
I know Chancellor and when I was there, Chancellor and Taylor Hall, no, I'm not around them. Anybody
Yes.
So we're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm asking if you agree with me that in today's day and age, more needs to be done to safeguard the people. Okay.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
There was something else I was going to say to you. I'm going to give you two quick examples. There's hardly no time you pass over Taylor Hall, smell ganja.
Yes, weed smoking and so on.
Yeah.
Commonplace.
So I tell you, I never know the hall, I never know university, you know. So when I get the form, I take off Mary Sequel Hall. Somebody see, they laugh. And then I change it, and I take off Taylor Hall. And the guy says, no, don't take off your gamblers and smokers. And I'm saying, I know,
Chancellor.
Now, when you get up in the morning, as early as you can get up and look, if you see the amount of people I pass through, especially a whole heap of young men with a stick, a long stick, with a piece of wire.
Picking
at the
Aki.
end. Hello?
Picking Aki and so on, yeah.
Yes. They use that to pick Aki. No, I don't remember ever seeing so much Aki in my life as were there. But after Gilbert, all of them, there was a place where a friend of mine, he's a doctor down here now, so I can't call his name, where we used to squat. We around. If you have Aki, a pure Aki we eat at this time.
Yeah,
Because
so we survive.
Aki and flour, oh Lord, man, Aki.
I mean, the university,
memory lane. That's changed, you know,
and the administration need to step into.
I know a lot of things have changed now because I hear that they have 5 halls and all those things, so I don't even know what the others are.
Yeah, man. So there's Rex Netterford, and which is
Well, we don't need to recite.
all
But
those,
suffice it to say, it is like a residential housing community now.
And
Yes.
the 120
Multi-level buildings and
so
so on. And it is set up so that you live more in apartments
than anything
than
else.
in room. There's no communal bathroom. I visited 138 housing, and the bathrooms are en suite.
Yes, it's sweet living in now. So
Yes.
that's how it is.
So it's possible.
From my days.
Very different. You had to come out and go to the hall, a common
bathroom at the
So
end of the hall.
persons had to leave the hall, had to leave their room.
What happened with that lady? In my days, it could easily happen.
I hear you. I do hear you. Yes.
Yeah. Lastly to say, I was the night with Precious Ball. It was Cardell Green who was the announcer at the First Young Student Union.
Yeah.
Cardell Green, yeah.
Yeah, Precious Ball. And he was, when he completed his math come, 3 years, it was law that he did. After that, it is law.
Yes. I remember. I remember Cordell.
Yeah, man.
And you see that Senator, what's his name? Delano Franklin has passed on.
Pardon?
Delano Franklin has passed.
Oh, yes. I send condolences to his friends and relatives.
Yes, I'm assuming he was part of student life government when you were there, if you're talking about Cordell Green.
It was after one time.
It was after?
No. Delano, after civil thing, he went to KC. Then he went to Michael. Then he apparently came there after.
Our time. That's what. Yeah, he came after our time.
Yes, he's probably one of the first person, or the only person right here, as far as me here. I don't know how it reads. Or it is said that he was the president for all 3 campuses. I don't know how it happened.
Interesting.
Oh. All right. Thank you for the walk down memory lane.
Yeah, man. Thanks. All right, then.
Take
Listen.
care.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, my lady.
How are you, sir?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, the same to you. It's not being said with any frequency.
Pastor, I'm not telling Happy Valentine's Day, okay?
Happy Valentine's Day to you, Enlighten. Me no business where you are. God is love, my brother. God is love and his expression to all of his creation.
Pastor hugging you up and busting you on the cheek.
Yeah, man. I listened to the reminiscence of that gentleman.
Yes.
Isn't it that what I'm saying, the camel come home to
The camel
come home to roost. Chickens come home to roost.
come home to roost.
Yeah, because I mean, some of the stuff that these students now are bitching over.
Mm-hmm.
It was deal to what some of these students used to encounter, and basically we have turned out some very brilliant individuals under those circumstances, you know.
Yes, and
so what has happened?
and some of the excesses of today never happened, even though the opportunity was definitely there, which is what he was revealing just now.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So what is happening now? Why we can't? Why with all the improvements in all in everything? Why we have the excesses nowadays?
I would say that when we were on campus, like I came out of a home where my foundation and the parameters I knew I had to navigate were
strong.
set and strong.
Okay.
I don't believe that it's the same.
It's not the same. It's not the same because there's been a breakdown in terms of family life and structure.
Well, I think that's the way. Because all right, even me as when I was growing up as a youngster, you had so much. When you go on the cricket field to play cricket, boy, there was so much cheering and man and all that. And yet we never see anybody a fight and all them type of things. So I'm wondering what has taken place. You at school, you don't find nobody ragging nobody and all that type of thing. The humor has gone to society.
Yeah.
Men used to be in bars and drinking and joke. You don't see nobody in a bar you know, joke again and all them things, you know.
Yeah, you make certain joke now, people attack you.
Yeah, I remember I went to a party once with a friend of mine. And them turn off the music and the man start to give joke and them turn off the music and everybody listen to the man and laugh, you know. The music turned off everybody and just everybody enjoying the jokes that the guy was giving. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, even it's socializing. Even when people go dance, nowadays, the men them over there, so and the women over, and some cool things to take place at the dance. What is happening in this country?
It's a reality because when you just go to dance, man have a woman and thing, but now the women over one side, the men over one side, and having dancing contests, and I find out how this is going. You're not dancing with anybody anymore. It's a serious thing, you know, Enlighten.
And nobody not dancing. Nobody go. I'm gonna show him shoes, and I'm gonna show him watch.
It's all a performance.
Yes. What is happening?
Aye.
Oh, we need to retrain, re-educate, rebuild.
Those are the things that we need to get back in the society, man. Because this society has gotten too coarse and too materialistic, and I don't know.
Mm-hmm. But you know, Enlightened, if you watch the evolution through the years, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, this new decades, there are different things that help to define us, because in the 70s, it was about what? Self-reliance. Remember that?
Black power and identity.
60s, right? In the 80s, it was about what? The Visa, the what? The Visa, the video, and the what? The Volvo.
Volvo, yeah.
And then in the 90s, it even became even greater about me, myself, and I. And then in the decade of the 2000, social media became very, very strong. And so it shifted even more me at the center of everything, and we're reading it. We are reaping it now, because what has happened to us, really, we have become so self-centered that we're not even thinking about anybody else. It is about me, myself, and I. Not even with the family, how far I can go. So we're reaping it now.
But the people don't even like themselves,
Aye. Well,
because if you love yourself, that's why I use the term in like self-interest, Because if you love yourself, you're not going to want to hurt anybody because you don't want anybody to hurt you,
Aye. That's so
You
true.
don't want a man hurt you, so you're not going to say something to a man to hurt his feelings because you don't want him to say something to you to hurt your feelings,
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are the things.
So
But
the people that even like them that even love themselves, they have a self-hate is going on.
yeah, a serious breakdown.
And the social work, every day them talk about this and them talk about, I don't hear them talk about social workers, and even if them get some social workers, to me, they have to get some people will have some old-time
values
to go back to train the people them. Some of the social workers. It's still a bad man. It's still a bad man.
Yeah, and one of the things is, and as a pastor, I said to us, and when I speak in my quarters, I encourage us to go back deeper in the community, because for a very long time, the church was the center of a lot of socialization. So even with the dysfunction that was there in terms of family life, it helped people in terms of how socialize for a lot of the young people and so on who never had fathers at home. I remember for myself, I was mentored by somebody who took me under his wings. I call him my spiritual father. And he helped me with all of the things that was happening at home. There was somebody who guided me, who looked out for me, and so on. And there was a group of us. And I met with him recently on my birthday, and he was saying, he can never remember that group of people. And we are all over the world now, doing stuff and achieving. But it was love of God and love of family and things that helped us through those times.
And we produce a lot of weak individuals now, because listen, I went to a prep, my grandchildren was at a prep school, went to a prep school, and they had a race. And they rewarding all the child that come last.
That is something that somebody has said, and me wondering, what is that? Yeah.
So if we continue to do those things until children that come, why
you participated.
You come last. What you must tell the child is, why you have to try a little harder, because you never come.
I'll try something else.
Try and come work little harder, man. And when common entrance was going on, my son passed his common entrance and went to St. Diego, and my daughter to St. Andrew High. And there was a girl in front of my yard. She every day she on the road I run up and down, and she never studied enough, and she never passed this common entrance. And the people might tell her, boy, she passed, but they never had no space here.
Oh Lord, that's just plain lying.
You must tell the child that you reason why
yes.
that gentleman over there, daughter,
they worked.
You never see them on the road I run up and down. They study their books up where them pass.
They worked for it.
They worked for it.
Aye. Yeah, so
and we need to start to tell people the truth and stop this foolishness.
There are consequences to your action. So enlighten, thank you. That's what it is. Thank you very much.
All right, sir. Okay.
This is up on our 9 o'clock break. Remember the numbers to call: 876-619-1508, 876-279-8473.
You're simply the best. You're simply the
Best FM 100.5 on your dial. Keep listening.
Business owners, what do you want our listeners to know about your business? Check out the Business Spotlight every Thursday at 11:15 a.m. inside lifted with Darren Chosen Smith, catering to all your advertising needs. Call our sales and marketing department now at 876-276-5072 or 876-887-0800 or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road off Hagley Park Road. That's the Business Spotlight right here on Best 100 FM.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi start?
Chano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time on shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose your problem and get back your transmission brand new with them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. You hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
You big star. Yeah, man. Respect my boss.
Try and call him because trust me.
What a relief.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
You can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Having trouble getting parts for your Mazda? Maljam Auto Parts is your solution. Find Maljam at the new and convenient location off Upper Wilton Park Road at 9 Kingswood Avenue. Maljam Auto Parts, with over 25 years experience, providing all Mazda parts, new and used. Call 923-4389 and 461-1786. Maljam Auto Parts, serving your Mazda needs.
Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2 1/4 Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
Believe me, it's so easy. 1, 2, 3.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. God is good. This is already pastor and friend, Reverend Simon Peter Jones, inviting you, my friends, to listen every Tuesday evening on Best 100 FM at 7:30 p.m. for the program, The Voice of Hope, as we extend hope to the hopeless in this dying world. God is good. Be encouraged. Hope is in the Lord.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good. It's better. But nothing beats.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Morning Connection. Caller, how are you today?
I'm blessed.
Hello,
I'm
Fortis.
blessed.
How are you today, my brother?
I'm blessed, my brother. I'm blessed. Good morning to you, Miss Minette.
Good morning, sir. I'm so glad that
Mr.
you are
Lawrence.
blessed.
Good morning to you, Mr. Lawrence. Big up yourself, Mr. Lawrence.
He's
Live.
not on the microphone, but he's
Yeah, I
he's
know he's
nodding.
smiling. He's smiling.
Yes, yes.
Pass the bread upon the water. You familiar with that, Pastor?
Yes, man, and we'll come back to you.
It's many days.
All right. No, but it's a matter.
Yes.
Science, art, and technology. You know that one too?
Stan?
Science, art, and technology. Cars.
Start, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cars. It's no new tech.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yes,
Cars.
right.
And
Yes.
water is cast the bread upon the water.
Yes, it come back to you. Yeah, right. That's correct.
Yeah. When you're doing the engineer course, you go there. Yeah. I heard a man come with a vernacular this morning. Is Poco Roco.
You know that word?
You know that word there?
Yes, man. We know Poco Roco, man.
Okay.
Poco Roco is when we used to do drama now. We know about Poco Roco. It's a word, man. Yeah, you know.
The first bit that I hear that word.
It mean it's rough and rocky.
Okay.
And things don't look good. The DPP says people make mistakes because they are human. I didn't know that she knew that she was human.
Okay.
And it kind of licked me out of the waters.
Well, I'm going to clarify that she wasn't speaking of herself because it's one of her staff.
No, I know it's not she. I know it's not she.
So you don't need to accuse her of being human.
Yeah, no, she is a Jew. No, let me tell you something. And there are a set of hypocrites. I'm not afraid to talk that. Because when it suits them, things they do what they want to do, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and when it not suit them, it's different. I'm not going for instance when we can talk about a set of hypocrite the whole of them, man. You know, good morning to you, Miss DP, people following. I hope the day find you well. And Mr. Fly Green, hey, how you doing, man? Mr. Fly Green. How can I forget Mr. Nestor Morgan? Eh?
Your friends in high places.
They could never be a friend of mine.
But you greet them so often, I was beginning to think.
No, I need to tell these people morning, they are in authority. You must respect your elders.
People in authority, you must pray for them too.
Pray for them.
Yes, of course you do. Of course you do. For guidance and protection and do what's right. And not when it suits them and them and look for them friend. You know? And this minute I'm still asking you about the bank.
The bank within a bank.
You don't answer me all now, you know.
No, sir, that one is too much of a puzzle for me.
You can't fit the puzzle.
I can't make that one.
Which I understand the bank within the
And
bank.
which one have the license?
Well, I think is the SSL have the license.
But if you are in the Father and the Father is in you, when I see you, I see the Father.
Come with your riggles and I don't want to stay on the line too long to get on it too long. You know. So, hold on. So you are saying to me that the PSSL is not licensed?
Well, if it is a bank within a bank, then it must have the same bloodline, DNA, genetics.
No, my father can't have an electrical license, I mean, I have none.
But are you in your father or your father is in you?
I am who I am. My father is my father.
But you see, whatever is within you is you.
That is why I'm saying I am who I am. My father is my father. The brave my father never is. I am who I am.
All right. So then you would be the father. You're a father of your own.
Miss Minette. I say good morning to you, Miss Mary Daly. Good morning to you, Pablo, and some other. You know, I think it was Jigsaw come on this morning, and Rusty, because yourself, man, and Enlighten and all these people keeping the fire burning. You know, we have to keep. We can't drop the ball now. We are almost there. We cannot drop the ball. No, it's sweeter. It's bitter now, but it's a bitter sweet. Let me tell you something. We're near. It cannot drop the ball. No, I'm getting off because I don't want you to say the too laugh.
And the only person who said that is you. Anyway.
You sure?
Yes.
You sure?
Anyway,
your man come and say, you know, along me the planet, you know, along me.
All right, let's put it to the test.
All right, Fortis.
Good morning and welcome. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, caller.
All right, so Fortis is the second time he asked me the puzzling question, and I answered it laughingly, but I know my answer is right. Good morning and welcome.
Greetings, Queen, and greetings, King, and greetings, listener of the best radio station in the world. How is everything going on this morning?
Going on good enough.
Going on good. Well, pick up yourself, my brethren, because it is say life is love, love is life. Live to love, always kind, share with one another.
True.
Don't be selfish, don't be greedy. If your brother or your sister do wrong, direct them to the right path. I hear the lady just ask the brethren, how are you in your father? Your father is in you.
Yeah.
Wow. Him say, him is him and the father is him. Him father. Overstand, but if you got in DNA, I that it start from. So daddy always in a him and him in a daddy. That's why I say, so the son, so the daddy, so the daughter, so the mommy. Because they always do things alike. Right? That's why when the son come and say, I and my father is one, meaning the things that my father do are the same thing.
You will see me.
So no overstand this. Understand this now. The wickedness of the world now have to stop because everything is prophecy now. And they have to fulfill. So no care what people say, there's no getting away from what is about to happen. And these are the things that the people them need to get to prepare for. Is what coming on normal. All right, you know what Bill Gates' them intention is? The spring, which is in March 22nd, in New Year, beginning April. Them are planning to go next virus in the world.
Wow.
And my Jamaican people, when have to take these things serious, these people's intention is to kill humanity without mercy and come with AI, robots, artificial intelligence, baby, GMO, baby, where they make up in the labs, and all these different things to destroy humanity. Why are they doing this? Everybody wants power to be like the creator. But the creator tell them, say, that is the reason why Michael threw Satan out of heaven, because him did want power to do the things. Him not ready to do yet. And when you tell government people to stop the wickedness, them not care. Every time you look and see what going on in the House of Parliament between the PMP and the Labour right, it's so embarrassing. It's such a disgrace to the entire world, especially to the citizens of Jamaica who have interest in themselves and want betterment for their country. Look what month it is now, heading to the new year, happy spring. And I know, nobody come and talk about the minimum wage. Nobody not talk about do this right. Now I see articles that make come out millions of dollars just since the ticket. Since the ticket thing start, come out billions of dollars make. And I'm like, wow. So if these people want to targeting busman, taximan, poor people, poor citizens of this country, how they going to manage? What's going to be the result of their kids? Because if they can't send their kids to school, because they don't have enough money to send them to school on a weekly basis, these little youngsters don't have a time with crew, have gangs, and farm things and start crime in the country, where the government can provide a kill center, build it downtown empty, kill up some of them, and make them a kill center and teach these youth in the communities still, so they can be able to have a life to help their family and themselves in the generation to come.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You know, we were speaking too about the new budget and what kind of allocations we would see and what strategies would be unveiled that could bring the people forward. You were just laying out some.
Queen, them have no unite,
Yeah.
They have no unite for poor people because they really not care about poor
Well,
people.
you were just laying out some things that are areas of focus which the average person, the ordinary citizen, would love to see. Address the issue with the minimum wage, show how you're gonna spend some of that money that you collect.
The system.
Yeah.
Next one, Queen. Look here now.
Yes.
I hear they come and they post the other day. I even hear the Prime Minister using the word "radam." I'm like, come on. The Prime Minister I follow fashion monkey. Everything in here, people send it up. If I go send people when they catch it gone, I go get 15 years.
Yes.
The first person, the first individual that can to them, with them have. They give him 4 years.
Yes.
So what I know. So back up. So what I know. Let me ask you question now. So when you give that first person that's calling to you, 4 years out of 15 to 11 gone. So when the other rest of people out the road are going to do now. Come on, that's right now. That's what this is going to do where. Because what you're giving them is copying. Because 4 years to an illegal gun. Mr. People using illegal gun kill them brother. People using legal gun and kill much innocent people. People using legal gun. And so many robbery and so many wickedness. Because they refuse to work. Refuse to know. People in certain community. We never know, say, we think Jamaica was religious country. I can't do it when we young and see. Every kind of your turn is a building church. We never know someone that live for the day when every community you go in. The church did it, but the gunman did it, the murderer did it, the other man did it, the rapist did it. How can people live in the same place? And they might kill the people them left, right, and center. And you never know that Jamaica would have gone to a state where only Marcus have one official left, you know. Where police and soldiers and the citizens have a war where police and soldiers have throw them gun the bad man, strip themselves of their uniform and hide in their boat. And a stadium garden, he said they're going to clean. Because you know they're too far. Because what's going on right now in America right now is getting ready for a civics war. Civics war in America right now, getting ready. And it's going between the Democrat and Republican, you know. And the citizens never going to start it, you know.
Oh Lord, the leaders.
Leaders. You hear what I say to you now? I want to listen to what I say. And the citizens never going to start the riot. And the war is the parliamentarian between Democrat and Republican, red state and blue state. Because what's going on all right? The country of America is in so much debt, but who they use their money to control the whole world? But Russia have a plan where they're planning to destroy completely the West. So all I know is sit down in that ground, we do not think say peace and safety. There's no peace and safety around here because Americans surrounded various different parts of the United States surrounded by warship right now, getting ready to take action very soon. That's why I'm saying right now, read Isaiah 60, Jeremiah 51, verse 6 and 42, go read it.
Let me ask you a question. All right, can I ask you a question?
Yes, Roger.
Because we have another call online. So what do you suggest to us as Jamaicans as to what we need to do at this point in time? Is there an action we can take?
I like that. Very good.
You have to answer quickly.
Every Jamaican. Yes, man. For every Jamaican.
Yeah.
As I said, prepare yourself 9 miles inland away from the city by one person by things that can last to know. Okay. Because you go need it. Because once the war start over, there's a food shortage. So we try to prepare, because what I see them do, then take hard to chop them. And with hard kind of food and carry it underground, we stack it up in the United States underground.
Okay.
And that them do.
So we have
want to start get for no things and put on so we can able to have it.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much.
Love is life and life is love every time.
All right, then. Blessings.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Hey, Wayne.
Hey, Wayne, how are you?
I'm good.
I saw your thing, Wayne. Interesting reading. With your child.
Yeah?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. We more want to talk about the education system, but as I would say, you say the devil is not the devil, you know. Demons is just demons, so it's natural for them to run things and do things how they are doing it.
True.
You know? So, I mean, let's say no better from them. Might tell them of righteousness and tell them of the right way of life. But demons are just demons. Devils are just devils.
They come to kill, steal, and destroy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, that's all they know anyway. That's what they are for. You know, so we have got people. We have to
stand right and do right. Stand right and do right.
Yeah, man, we have to organize ourselves still. We need to organize ourselves. Find one another and set up a thing. Run with school. Bring out good brains. Because 95 the teachers say percent fail.
Mm-hmm.
Grade 14 and me tell them say if me run a school bona fide, me still me meditate myself running a school bona fide. Me I imagine myself I pick up picnic panel off of the street when I'm not parents, you know. So my school would have to be a place where me have to sit down, think, seek information and know to run a school where me can bring out the best out of each child, even if they don't have nobody otherwise from the school to help them learn with them to learn. And when me sit down and watch them and do something, me I say, but if the child don't know ABC or his ABC yet, and know if they sound the letters them and know the different sounds that some letters may give, why you give them big word for call? It doesn't make no sense.
Mm-hmm.
You need to make sure them get.
Yeah, we don't set up people to fail.
You don't set up people to fail. You have to make sure that them pass the first stage first. They give them the next stage.
Yes.
I will put madness to go on, you know. Madness to go on with some mad people who claim to them medicated, you know. And I go at them love children, you know. You know, and children live what them learn. I can remember when I was a child and we all have TV them time there. Few people have it, but who have it, all have it pack up and watch it. And when we done, we find ourselves to play cowboy and Indian and shoot up for one another. And Superman and thump one another and all them something. So TV have a lot to do with people's brains. You know. There's so many wickedness going on in this world. The devil world is for true, you know. Or the devil get in control, because as the pastor said, man can give the power to the devil. Imagine God gave the world to rule. And you think it are going to give it to somebody else when they love you. You don't get that nothing more. Is it not madness?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we just link up the family still, you know, because we still there, you know, and you know,
yes.
Who have the sense, we need to unite though. We need to, somebody need to push out the energy to bring forth that unity. And we respect Mr. Patrick of the UIC. I think he's doing very great. You know, right now, me not think me know nobody else so me can. I think I'm going to do good still, you know. Really do good, you know.
Okay.
And we feel like, and I say, all conscious-minded people, all Christ-minded people, positive-minded people, we can rally around everything we are going good.
The good that we see.
You know, try bring forth a change, you know. At least shine the light.
Yeah.
Even if the change never come, Christ prophecy have got fulfill. At least when we unite, there's a brighter light to shine. You know, because we put a lot of little light together, it shine brighter, don't it?
True. Yeah, it becomes a bit of
family. Miss Minette, love y'all.
All right, my brother, love you too.
All right.
Bye.
Welcome, caller. How are you?
Yeah, it's me. Morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Cruz. Morning to you. How are you?
Producer, not bad. Every early producer, cause I don't hear him talk a long time now. Me not hear him say anything. Are you stop in front of Miss Minette?
Not me. How could I?
You have those kind of pause over the producer, my friend.
The producer choose when he comes on stream.
Yeah, man. But sometimes the producer will come in and say something, and it sound like a strong leader, you know.
He is a strong leader.
Here. Me don't know if else to hear him the strong, but him
no, man,
when
strong
he talk.
leader. Strong leader. That's why he stays behind the scenes sometimes.
I noticed when always promote Mr. Patterson.
Just like how you promote the PNP.
I don't really, yes, but I don't promote the PNP 100% because I hit out on the PNP. If you listen how I talk.
Yeah, but maybe
when
he
the
doesn't
PNP
have
goes
anything.
wrong, I talk.
So maybe he don't have anything to hit out at yet.
But that is the trick. A lot of people didn't have anything to hit out against Brogard until we found out late. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes. So when you find out, you find out.
Yeah, we find out late. But I knew Brogard wasn't good. I knew that even before. Just like Obama. I know he wasn't perfect like how people put him until they found out late. Even though he got 2 terms. I have a 6 cents. No, 10 cents I have.
What sense you have?
I always Kelsey things before it happened. But surely I don't really believe in a leader that telling me that he wants Jamaica to be like a little island in Asia. That's capitalism. That's you're not putting your people first. Anyway, the other thing I have to talk about is Miss Nadine Spence. I heard you talking about her this morning.
Yes. Oh, you know her.
I used to watch CVM back in the days, and she was always on it defending one party. That lady sounds just like Sheppy. I think they're family.
That's not
she
possible.
always defend. And you can't do that. When the PNP wrong, we say PNP wrong. But she always defend, and I think she's from down here.
So you're saying
I heard her talk that she's from St. Elizabeth.
So you're thinking she's too political for that kind of appointment?
Yes, of course. And I hope somebody come out and talk against it or something like that.
Well, you have already done so.
We saw it already, somebody
And somebody else,
had said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. She's too one-sided. We don't need people like that nowadays, whether from the PNP or the JLP. One-sided. We can't have this anymore.
About Jamaica and the people of Jamaica. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree with you on that one, my brother.
The other thing I have to talk about now, the court. Miss Minute, this is for you.
This is the DPP and the court thing?
It's my thing, this and that thing.
Okay, tell me.
Did you ever see anyone in court that is guilty, but because of the strong argument of his or her defensive team, they got away?
I don't know about the guilty part, but I have seen persons who were acquitted based on technical arguments that never went to the question of innocent or guilt.
I knew a person that is guilty.
Yeah.
Guilty. And the lawyer got them off in the court. So, look, corruption and idiotism is everywhere. It's everywhere.
But you would have heard
I think we need to have the law set that if a man commit a murder and we find out no lawyer should get him off.
All right. So
interesting.
The law is set for murderers to be convicted, It is set that way. But the method by which and the process by which you secure a conviction is as important as the conviction itself. And that's why time and again you'll hear me say to Percy that when a man is on trial, the system is also on trial. And what we are seeing with the DPP today is that the system is what failed, not the man. The man pleaded guilty and stood waiting to be dealt with justly by the court. And then the system come now to say, oh, we made a mistake. Huh? The system is always on trial, and it's good to note that the system can make mistake too, and you got to fix it. But you don't fix it at the expense of the citizen. Yes, sir.
It is the system, it's the people who control the system that makes all the laws. They made it.
And when we make it, we must follow how it works. And if we don't like how it's going, then we change it.
If you should check the weight corruption in this country by the upper class or the politician and the low people. The politician weight committing corruption, it's about 60 pounds compared to the local people, about 5 pounds,
Well, but that is expected because corruption occur based on the level of access and power that you have, that you enjoy. And the little people don't have any. So obviously they
how
can't be the
we
heavy
fix that?
hitters.
How can we fix that?
By improving the quality of the people.
The quality of
Meaning
people
integrity and
so
the
on.
heart position have to be improved.
Yeah. All right, Cruz.
Well, sure.
Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
So a sure changing a leader every 4 years or a party every year can change that?
No, it won't change that if you're getting the same kind of person or the same. But
it's the same kind of person we have here all the time.
Because we're not changing, Cruz, which include me and you.
If we don't change,
if we won't change, then the people
no,
not
me and you.
Yes,
you to Cruz.
Change all of them.
All right,
all right, Cruz.
We're at the break, so we gotta run.
All right, then. Blessings.
All right.
Thank you. Pastor, you depend your own.
Half a tree, one and drive. Boss it. How we do I take taxi start?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up